I'm Adam.
And I'm Josh.
And today it looks like we're about to do a podcast, but we're actually going to film a porno. Yeah, this is for the Patreon. No, I'm joking. It is a podcast. It's the Breaking Beard podcast. And we're on the road today in Germany.
Germany?
Is that what you're doing, sound guy? Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
So somebody needs to get a video of this, right? Because we are in a hotel room. This is all the gaffer's idea, right? This was supposed to be a day off for us, right? And he's like, let's do a podcast. And so we've got fake George, but like they've got these fancy lights in the corner of the room. So he keeps repeatedly banging his head on the lights. And his phone's going off as well. You better answer that, man. Who could it be? Let's find out.
Nah, you'll have to talk to him later, mate.
Where were we? Yeah. It was Josh's idea to film a podcast. He thought it might be quite fun to do it while we're on the road, filming some videos in Germany. So we're actually in my hotel room now, which is why there's a bed in the background. And
people might think that I'm making this up because we're in Adam's hotel room, but the smell is atrocious. Like,
the problem is, I mean, I've been filming for 2 days now. And it's got to come out at some point, mate. It just happened to be the fact that you're the maid. You've not tipped her, so she's not done your room. Whereas I provide, of course, ample tippage. So my room is nice and clean, so we have to do it in my room. But yeah, I did have to take a big steamy dump before we began.
Well, we're going to have to tie up.
I'm concerned because there's cranes moving outside the hotel room. If a crane just smashes through the window halfway through, somebody might actually watch. You know what I mean?
This one might be on the cutting room floor by the end of it. We'll start as we always start. We're not going to do any editing on this one, so we're going to do the YouTube comments. Do the jingle.
It's time for... Wait, no, I can do it better. Oh, it's time for a YouTube comment from you.
Nice. Right, so the first one is from at SU... Oh, George in here, so I've got to read him. Something or other. I'd take the constant Manscaped and better health ads if it keeps the podcast going. Beard should sell one of his 12 houses to fund it. No problem. Laughing emoji. Now, we've covered this. My man's homeless. So it's not that he's got 12 houses. He's got 0 houses.
Yeah, I'm quite used to hotels now. This feels very much like home to me. I think that might be a steep price to pay if we had to do Manscaped ads in every single podcast.
Yeah.
Personally speaking.
We've done no ads, so don't buy any Manscaped products.
Fuck those guys.
Next one is from... you need to stop swearing, actually. So the last 3 out of 4 podcasts have been demonetized. So unless we want to go for Connect 4, we're going to have to start behaving a little bit.
Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, Dad.
Cut that, George. We're not cutting this. At Jean Longsden 1696. Is Adam jealous of Jen as she's had more sausages this year than him? Lol. That's
a funny joke. Not at my expense, though, so I could... Yeah, I mean... I'm certainly not jealous of her. I'm not a huge fan of sausage, to tell you the truth. But she's definitely got an interesting social life recently. I'll leave it at that.
Jen actually set up a WhatsApp with me and Adam in it, just called... I can't even say it, can I?
You can't say it.
Set of C's.
Set of see you next Tuesdays.
Because of the amount we speak about Jen's sex life on this podcast.
But she also loves it because it gets her a lot of attention on Instagram, I think. Yeah. From what she's told me.
Can we tell them about what she told? What
I try not to think
about the stamina. Can we talk about that? Remember how many times in a day? Have we spoke about it on the podcast?
I don't think so because I'm trying to forget it. She my sister made a rather odd comment the other day, just out of the blue. She said, "My personal record is I've had sex 5 times in a day," and I'm like,
It was in a night, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the night. Sorry, and I'm like, that's kind of disgusting. You telling me that, but I was comforted in the knowledge that I thought she meant with like her previous husband, and she just said no, like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like.
And I'm pretty sure she told us not to talk about that. So we'll move swiftly on. At Glass Velo said, quite a mild one this week by your usual standards. Still entertaining though. Never change. A smiley emoji. It wasn't mild enough because it was demonetized immediately.
Do you know? I feel like you're not doing enough research into why it does tell you why the video has been demonetized.
I think we're 2 years into this, man, and we've been fine until like now. I don't know what's going on.
We do swear a lot. We should probably stop. We need to get that swear. We said we were going to get a swear jar like a long time ago, and we never. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a mess. We filmed far too much, drank far too much. Everyone in this room is hungover. Who knows what's going to happen here? I could actually have a mid-afternoon nap, but we're doing this instead. Yeah, what's next?
At Rosebud04 me, hey guys, I love the podcast. Please don't take it away from us. Kiss, kiss.
Oh, that seems quite sincere. Is that like your burner account or something? We're not gonna take it away from you. The economic landscape of our lives may end up doing that. Just he's got another £500 a month out of me now.
Oh yeah, we're moving studios.
To this new one.
Spoiler alert. No, we are actually going to move studios. We're going to downsize slightly, and I'm basically going to put. So Josh, who's behind the camera, who is my
Say hello, Josh.
Hello.
Josh is like my right hand with everything that we do. He helps us on all the shoots. He's a good egg. He's got his own little production company.
Not normally on the podcast.
It's funny because George won't know about this yet. George is going to move in with them guys, and then we're going to take another room in the same building, put the podcast studio. Therefore, Adam and I are going to go halvesies on a podcast studio.
For a podcast studio, I'm only going to use for like 1 hour of every week.
It's a bit like my studio now. It's only there for
Money
podcast.
well spent.
But yeah, I'm guessing by the title of this, it's going to be like the German adventure, or it's going to be talking about that you've pooed your pants again. Now,
Well, there's only so many times we could do that.
The fact that you pooed your pants yesterday
While you were there.
while we were there is mental, and it was at probably the strangest food location you could ever imagine. Do you want to describe it just so that I don't get ourselves in hot water? You know?
Yeah, no, it was like it was a strange. So we're in and around Frankfurt, right? That's where we are right now. We're actually in a place called Eschborn at the minute. So we're actually going to do the plan is we formulated this plan over many alcoholic beverages a few nights ago. Is that we're going to do like 3 here and then like go back home and then do another 3. And then perhaps another 3 and make it one giant series that goes together. They're just not all filmed at the same time, right?
Yeah, but pretend that it was all.
But yeah, pretend I didn't just actually say that. We're gonna go home, have a wesh, get some new clothes and stuff. Because like Josh has been wearing the same jeans for 5 days now.
I have.
That's not a joke. But anyway, yeah. So I did this. One of the food challenges we did was a restaurant at an airfield, like a small domestic airfield, right? Which is weird enough in and of itself, just in the middle of nowhere. So you've got these little kind of... It's cool because I had the propeller planes like flying off. I don't know what you call them, right? But probably planes that aren't powered by jet engines. But you walk and they serve... I knew what the challenge was before we got there. I knew the type of thing it was. But then when we got there, it's like an Indian-themed restaurant. But they also... So they sell curry and stuff.
Yeah.
But they also sell traditional German food like Schnitzel and stuff like that. And then the staff don't actually speak English or German. I thought the original language barrier was that like we can't speak German, right? Because we didn't have our interpreter Philip, who we had on the first day. Yeah. Philip's just being sacked because he was too handsome. We couldn't have him on camera. It just wasn't working for us. So yeah, it was the case that I was like, okay, we'll try in English. He didn't really get that. I'm thinking, oh man, right, okay, let's like translate. So we called Philip. Philip started speaking to them, and he's like, I don't speak German. So it was a bit of a mishmash.
The head waiter didn't speak English or German in Germany.
Yeah.
That was like...
Maybe it's because it's an airfield, though. They get like predominantly international...
So let's do some geography. They're going to be what? Czech, Slovak...
Polish, maybe?
Polish.
Austrian.
Yeah.
Well, by air. Anywhere that's like reachable by propeller plane. I don't know how far that gets you, but probably England, I guess. Probably if they got enough fuel in them, right?
Yeah, I think you probably could, yeah.
It's only an hour over here, so...
So yeah, Adam, anyway, we somehow managed to... Like, I don't know how we even did that. We managed to order what we needed to order.
Yeah.
Adam did the challenge.
Oh, my God.
So this is another thing that's happened. Adam thought we were going to at least get to phone one in on this trip and just have like a little challenge.
Yeah, well, not a little one, but like the European ones typically are not super brutal, right? Usually, I've only been to 3 countries now. 4. Well, this will be the 4th in Europe, mainland Europe, and they've been pretty easy. Now, I don't target them to be easy. It's actually better for the sake of the video if they are hard. But we basically did 2 on the bounce day after day, and they were both A, bigger than they were supposed to be, and B, fucking huge. Sorry, I had to swear to get the point across then. So like, it's been a bit of a slog, and yeah, inevitably, usually I don't like habitually shit my pants, believe it or not. I know we've talked about it a lot on the podcast, but it's the fact that if you do something like huge, and then the day after you do something huge, it's just a risk, man. It's just likely to happen. And I did actually. I think you got a video where I couldn't move because I thought if I moved after I finished, I was gonna defecate in my Rhymies, and then I thought it was safe to move, and it was for about 8 yards, and then a little bit came out.
Are we? Will that end up in your main channel video?
No.
Right, so it's for so that we filmed it on Patreon.
Exclusive.
So he sent us a video. So me and Josh are sat there. Like we actually got a schnitzel ourselves. So I thought I'd try a bit of this food. It was really nice. Then Adam sends us a video. First picture is his boxer shorts.
They were white,
soiled white boxer shorts. He's like, this is my last pair of white.
My last pair of white boxers. I'm never buying any more.
And then the next one is him screwing these boxer shorts up and throwing them out a window. So as we're leaving this restaurant, the window that he threw them out of was the entrance to. It was the entrance to the restaurant.
Did I pick them up? I picked them up and I put them in a bin.
So we've got this whole video that he's threatening to like throw these shitty knickers at me. But that can only go on Patreon because it can't survive anywhere else. Like
the sad thing is that's the second time I've done that exact same manoeuvre. Food in my pants, throwing them out the toilet window. Second time.
That's nuts, mate.
Yeah, but I mean, I suppose it was worth it for the video. Oh man, that was brutal. And there's a funny part. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a funny part where we realise there is something slightly awry about the food challenge that I'm doing compared to previous attempts. Let's put it like that. So yeah, it was pretty savage. But today's was supposed to be a day off.
So another thing that's happened is we came abroad with the intention of like we'll work a few days and then it's now Thursday, so we came on Monday. We were like, he's going to be eating you were going to be Tuesday,
Wednesday,
and then Thursday's off today, and then he eats again tomorrow. So we were like, we'll work, and then on Wednesday night you do your food challenge. We'll have a night out. We'll have like a lads' night out, a couple of drinks.
It's all right because the well, I was going to say the ladies. The lady doesn't. Your lady doesn't actually listen to the podcast, so we're safe, I reckon.
Yeah. So she knows full well what's happened. So that was the intention. But like any good lads holiday, we obviously just drank on the first night, then got drunk on the second night,
more drunk,
and then last night, which was the main night out, poor Josh. It's the standing George for the week got absolutely mortal.
Yeah, he got so drunk he stopped like learning how to actually pronounce words. He was trying to communicate just with blinks, I think, by the end of the evening.
He got that drunk that he went through different characters.
Yeah. He got angry at one point and started wishing like certain extended members of his family. I don't want to say dead, but somewhere close to death. And then there was a horny part where he got quite horny.
Then we had him reliving Class A Josh from back in the day. Look at his funny face.
Serious acts of criminality. But it's okay because we should actually give a real quick, I think, shout out to the restaurant. We've been the same. Typical English people abroad. We've been to the same restaurant/bar every night for like 4 nights, and we're going back tonight, I think. Might even stop by tomorrow. But it's a place called UMass.
UMass, yeah.
YUMAS. And it's in Eschborn. And we think that the head cocktail maker barman wants to lose his job because he's provided us with more free drinks than drinks I think we purchased. Which is largely why we are drunk and I'm this hungover now. I feel like I'm running on white blood cells or something. There's no energy left in me, but I'm still trying. But yeah, it looks quite a lot like me. So can we overlay a picture? I think we got pictures.
Yeah, we've got pictures, but I'll try and remember to overlay pictures. I think I put one on his Instagram as well. Yeah. And so like every night is giving us anywhere between 5 to 10 free shots each.
Rounds of shots.
You can't leave the restaurant without getting a shot. So like as we're leaving, there's then another free shot. And his saying for every night has been, "It's Friday." So
hey, boys, it's Friday. And we're like, no, stop with the free shots, man. Can't you see the way we look? He's like, yeah, but it's Friday. It's fucking Tuesday, man. It's 5 p.m.
We've put everything, obviously, like, there's been loads of videos we've put on Patreon. There's one I'm going to put up, because on the first night when we had Hanson Phillip with us, who don't you think he looks like, is it Stephen Coulthard? Martin Coulthard? Who's a Formula 1 driver?
You're asking the wrong cat, man.
David Coulthard.
The one with the big square head?
Yeah. Don't you think he looks like David Coulthard?
No. I think he looks like... I mean, his head's quite square. But no, I think he's like a model, man. I don't know what the heck he was doing helping us out.
Get a picture up, Josh. Like... Coulthard? Anyway, the first night, he gave us... He was like, I've made this cocktail with habanero.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh no.
That was night 1 as well. Like, I was before the eating.
So we're like, oh, we'll film this for Patreon. It'll be really funny. So they start filming me and Adam. Show us a picture. Don't you think he looks like David Coulthard? He looks exactly like him.
David Coulthard's head looks like it looks like a box of Quality Street. Like it's that square. His head. Imagine having a head that square.
We start filming it, and I thought, oh, I'll just see what happens to Adam first. I pretended to do the shot, didn't do it.
Yeah.
Looked over at Adam. You started sweating immediately, and I was like, oh no. And then obviously peer pressure comes in because the barman, the waitress, and everybody at the table were like, you need to drink it. So I drank it. Started sweating profusely. I need a beer.
Profusely. We need more alcohol to get ready to reach your normal functional levels.
Josh, do I sound like I'm sat having a shit? I just realised I'm like sat like
there's no other way to do it. We've got like 8 square feet of space to work in.
And then I started getting hiccups.
Yeah.
And I started to get like a pain down my right arm. I thought it was index for me.
It was one of those which was oddly really painful at the start, and then I think it wore off quite quickly after like 2 minutes.
Did you have a fiery poo? I didn't have one.
No. Well, that's because it's only habanero, but whatever it's in, it carries it, which made it seem so much worse. But it was a really short-lived burn. I can deal with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that giant spicy ramen bowl in Nashville that like wrote me off for 3 days, turned my poo black. This was actually alright. Yeah, but the people there at UMass are very, very nice. And we actually went there last night, which was Valentine. Is it alright to discuss the day? Because
the date. Yeah.
So I don't know when this is going to go up, but it was Valentine's Day, and they were nice enough to give us the last table in there for, of course, non-Valentine's Day purposes. Although once we'd had a few, we did get a little bit handsy with each other. So
I put the post out on the Breaking Bread one saying that you are there with your partner tonight. Pamela Henderson.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of mileage out of that joke, aren't you? It was quite good, but yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, you did. I saw that. Yeah.
Not that you're. I think after the amount of drinks you had, you wouldn't be any use to anybody last night, mate. Not even your own hand. We've been training since we've been here, getting the old. That was my favorite. That was my favorite part. No, actually, my favorite part of the trip was getting drunk. But the second favorite part is I was not competing so much. I think I was trying to be. I just took him to train properly, basically. None of that CrossFit shit. Let's get in there and lift some heavy weights. Let's throw it around a little bit. And I was pleasantly surprised that when we did our working set of standing military overhead press, which if you listen a lot, you might know is one of my favourite exercises to do in the gym. We did a working set of 70. Do we establish it for 70 or 75? We don't know.
Should we say 75 just because we're on record?
Yeah.
75, I think it was 75. It felt quite heavy. So I did 3 strict presses, 3 reps, strict press, 75. Matey boy over here had to push press it for 1.
Yeah.
But
I'm long though. I mean, like, look at that. Look at that distance there.
Yeah. It's not really. You're 20 kilos heavier than me. But
I have got out of frame, yeah. All right, okay.
But yeah, we've never trained before, have we? And it was quite a nice sense of camaraderie to it. But the gym was fucking horrendous. I mean, it was a well kitted out gym, but it was so full. There was a dude doing curls in the Smith machine. I mean, I wasn't going to tell him not to though. You see the size of his arms? Yeah, I think they're like my legs.
I think he'd been on PEDs, man. The old extracurriculars.
Yeah, for sure.
Train.
I think he might have even been on that. What's that stuff they use when they just inject oil? Might have been on a little bit of that.
That Rich Piano was on.
Synthol.
Yeah, just like inflating his arms.
Those were unnaturally large arms, yeah.
It's been good though, man. It's been... we've seen a new side of you. I feel like we've got like a new and improved relaxed beard, you know?
That's not the idea though, because the podcast is called Breaking Beard, so I'm supposed to not be relaxed. I'm not feeling very relaxed right now. I'm just... Because in case just somebody looks into this window, we're right by the window, they're going to see like three cameras. There's 2 dudes down there. Look at that. They look like they're doing some illicit drug deal down there or something.
It was like they're going to do a drug deal.
Yeah, if they spot these cameras, they could shoot us from here. You never know.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Sorry to interrupt this episode. I want to take a few seconds just to tell you about our Patreon. As you know, we don't do any sponsorships around here. We don't try to sell you any ball shavers. However, If you can support us on Patreon, we have got early access to every episode, like this one, and future guest episodes that are coming up. We've got some big names in the pipeline. You get exclusive behind-the-scenes clips from like when Adam's travelling around the world or we're just chatting shit in the studio. Each episode, we record a Patreon-only section, which is a little bit less PG than the actual full episodes. You guys can interact with us and help us steer this sinking ship and tell us what you want to hear on this podcast. You can get all this for less than the price of a pint, and it saves us from having to flog some ball shavers. So if you can, support us on Patreon. Back to the episode.
Yeah, do we have any? Are we just talking about like what we've done here, or?
Yeah, a bit about what we've done here. Extending the tour as well. Obviously, we mentioned it previously, but we believe so far it's been a successful trip.
It is the proof is in the pudding though, because this is the first time I've been overseas and done some crude videos overseas. Because normally I only really get these cats in to do the shooting and the editing when it's a specific type of video. You know, if you think about it, so it's like, oh, you can eat chicken. Will this go up after the Tom Aspinall thing, or before?
Don't know. When are you planning on Tom Aspinall going on your channel?
It's whenever we put that podcast out.
All right,
I guess.
Well, George is. I think he'll have that finished this week.
George has just been. I think he's just been like partying in the back at the office, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled a sickie on one day. Didn't tell me. In fact, the day we arrived,
a sickie at 3 p.m. That's like the end of the working day.
We landed in Germany, and I messaged him for the first time that day. And it's like, oh yeah, soz mate, I'm not actually in today. And I'm like,
that's what happens when the boss is away.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe till it got before Tom Aspinall. Whether it goes up before or after, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, it makes no real difference. What I was trying to get at is that normally I would only get a crew if it's like an all you can eat and there's like some kind of record, right? We did that with the cake one, chicken wings. You know, if there's somebody on there with me.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we've really just done what you would call standard videos with the crew. But I just thought, A, I'm a little bit lonely lately, and B, I thought Josh just keeps losing clients like left, right, and centre. So I need to make sure his family are all right. So I thought like the other Josh also needs money because he is technically without a house. He has a house, but it's like dilapidated, so you can't live in it. So I'm trying to spread the wealth, and I thought, you know, it might make for a cool set of videos. Also, we can get an interpreter because Germany is surprisingly to me the one country where the fewest people so far in mainland Europe speak English that I've been to. But yeah, hopefully people like them. I think they've been good videos, and they have certainly been better with the crew than if I'd shot by myself, because there's some shots that we got that rely on the dynamism of having two handheld cameramen rather than just like a static camera pointing out. So yeah, I hope people like them.
I couldn't imagine you going to the propeller place by yourself and surviving the interactions.
No, I think I would have bailed. I think it was difficult. Luckily we had but that's that I told you, I've mentioned on the podcast at least twice or 3 times before that I tried to do a German series before I actually went to Norway.
Yeah.
But it was so hard for me to organise that I just kind of bailed on it. Luckily you knew the guy from Octagon, Handsome Philip, who helped us arrange it, and 2 of the 3 so far, despite the second one being a little difficult, I've been successful. We've been able to film. We've been able to do everything properly, by and large.
Yeah.
So that we've just got one more to go, and hopefully that goes all right.
Yeah,
that's like an hour before we fly home.
Yeah, we've sort of admittedly lined up the Friday one pretty badly because apparently there's been like a festival this week in Germany, and it's this restaurant that we're trying to go to doesn't open till Friday. And it opens at 5 o'clock on Friday, but they've actually said they would open up 2 hours early for us to do it, so they'll open up at 3.
I feel like if they'd just done 3 hours early. So what's 1 hour between people that aren't really friends, but you know, like.
But it'll take us at least 2 hours to film the gig, and then so at 5 o'clock on Friday, we've then got to make it over an hour back to the airport for our 8:30 flight.
That's not really the problem though. The problem is going to be that I'm going to have at least 7 pounds of stuff inside me, and then I have to fly. So joke's on you because you're next to me.
What is the challenge?
I think it's another schnitzel, but it's with other stuff. I think it's schnitzel, like a big salad, and it always kind of winds me up when there's no measurement, right?
Yeah.
Because like that could literally be like 7 cabbages or something, like whole romaine lettuces. If there's anything like the previous 2 as well. Not that I feel like I'm whinging more than usual, but yeah, I feel like that's going to be quite. And you have to drink a litre of beer with that one, so that's a plus. But
you've got to drink a litre of beer?
Yeah, I think so.
How are you going to get back to the airport?
maybe they'll let me. I was gonna say,
Josh's
well, this is at least the podcast has done one thing for us. We've figured out that's a problem now.
I'm driving then, aren't I?
You're not sure to drive it though. We'll figure something out. I was gonna say maybe they'll let me do non-alcoholic beer, but it's Germany and I don't think they don't even do decaf coffee here. So I think non-alcoholic. They'll laugh at us if I say can I have non-alcoholic beer, which would be good for the video. But
a litre of
I think it's a litre of beer. We could maybe like check that. But
let me check it. I got that screenshot, didn't I, Philip?
Pretty sure it's like a litre of beer.
Didn't you do the Google Translate on that one? I'm sure you did. I'm sure you sent us the Google Translate.
Oh, it says you can use you can go with, well, my German's a bit rusty, but order 1 litre beer or their soft drink nach Wahl. I don't know what that last part means, but order soft drink means or a soft drink. So there we go. Litre of Diet Coke. Solid.
That's fine then. At least we'll be all right. You'll need that to get it down, won't you, as well? What else are we going to do? Have a quick look over my the pictures from our excursion. Oh yeah, that was it. The first episode, Burger Challenge. Very good. Big German. Bumped into a guy from Darlington. A fan from Darlington.
We bumped into a Geordie at first. I thought that sounds like a bit of an odd German accent.
But so the restaurant was full. We, after much deliberation, put Adam right in the centre of the restaurant because it would be the best shot. Even though they wanted to put us in like a hovel in the back.
Main event, it wasn't quite a hovel, it was the dark room.
But he did get that much food inside him that he farted. So we had him turn music off as well. So it was silent. Everybody's watching him and he goes... And everybody, like, there was some angry looking faces.
I needed every inch. I would never normally do that on a video. Believe it or not, I try not to burp or, like, because it's gross, man. People don't want to see it. But that was quite humorous because I just needed a bit of extra space. And the people that were watching did laugh about it. It was just the one person over your shoulder who less than laughed about it, let's say. Yeah, I apologise. I wouldn't normally do it, but it's kind of was part of the show, I reckon.
And today we went shopping, and we had to pay actually to go for it. We needed a wee. Do you want to explain about that?
That was the funniest thing that's happened all weekend. Like, you just walked in and she said, it was like, I sensed something odd about it because we walked in and like, we're getting towards the toilet and it smells really nice. And
it was the
like I'm
poshest
getting
toilet.
like incense or something. And we walked in, there was like a velvet rope and I'm thinking, is this like a fucking toilet museum or something? And then the woman said, €50 or like 50 euro cents. And he's like, I have to pay. So he put in his defense, he did pay for all three of us because we all needed it. But it was the way that he then went, 3 wees, please. Quite loudly. And then we went in, we saw what they're doing with the money because they've got gold reserves in there.
Yeah, and Adam decided to go for a schoolboy piss, which this will get us demonetised. And
is that not how you wee? I thought that's how you wee.
Don't zoom in on it, Josh. Like when he pulled his pants down around his ankles, and we got a picture. So be sure to see that on Adam's page and on the Breaking.
We've basically
Instagram.
just been behaving like 12-year-old kids all week, essentially. And yeah, that was yet another instalment of the of the.
We got Adam even angrier as well today as we were driving out of Frankfurt because we did a carpool karaoke style segment, which is really funny. But Adam's singing along to what was the song from White Chicks?
Oh, the Vanessa Carlton one, 2,000 Miles. I think the one that is going to impress most people is me doing like N dubs, basically word for word, which is a guilty pleasure. Well, not a pleasure, it's just a guilty thing that I know about. Let's put it that way. But for some reason, I just pure did the N dubs, the dappy rap thing. Oh, sorry, man, I'm broken.
Dappy rappy.
The rap dappy doing the rap. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? And
He's just blowing your ears off there, Josh.
But yeah, I don't think that the carpool karaoke was a bad idea inherently. It's when you started putting on like Machine Gun Kelly and I don't know what else did you put on there. Ronan Keating. Keating. I don't even know like where these came. If these came from your personal playlists, I'm shocked and appalled.
From Josh's playlist, that.
Yeah.
Spotify's own songs to sing in the shower.
Yeah, okay, we believe you. But I think we could have used actually some of those shots for the travelling because I was surprised by the general quality of them.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do something like, you ever see that show, The Trip, with Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon, where they kind of basically play fictionalised versions of themselves? Like, if we did something like that, just for a laugh one time.
Well, we said that, didn't we? We said, like, if we were to come and do one of these and we drove, but I think the logistics of trying to get all those shots and the edit and, like, I don't know if you could do it. I think this is like the next best
Aren't
thing.
aren't you literally the CEO of a video production company?
Yeah. All right, maybe
He's telling me it
more,
can't be
sorry,
done.
more it'd be like an expensive endeavour.
Yeah, I thought that might come into it. Yeah, a couple more zeros on the bill. Yeah. What about production house, Josh? You saying? Yeah, I'll come straight to the talent.
Straight to the source. But yeah, we're going to go back to Yamus tonight. We are going to
UMass.
UMass.
Are we going back there tonight to eat?
No, I'm not eating that. We've had, like, no wonder we're all wrecked, man. All we've done is drink cocktails and eat Mexican food for 4 days.
I've not eaten today. Admittedly, I woke up this morning and was like overjoyed at the idea of not having to eat. But now it's pushing like 4 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
And the last time I ate was 1 o'clock yesterday. And then I'm running on the cocktails and like a few coffees. Yeah. I did actually try and order almost successfully two coffees in German as well at McDonald's.
Ah, yeah.
I did. The only problem with it was I got the line out.
Josh keeps banging his head off the line.
That's just. I feel like he's got like no spatial awareness of his head. Do you remember he banged his head when we were filming in the Schnitzel place?
It's because you're brutally hungover. You could have been napping now. And we dragged him around Frankfurt all day.
He slept in his clothes last night. He woke up in his clothes. Was I saying something important then? Oh yeah, I ordered the. Yeah. We thought it might be a laugh because I did German at school, right? I don't really remember much of it, but I knew that I could order 2 coffees. So I did order 2 coffees. But the problem was like I didn't anticipate the follow-up questions, which is when it got hard. The experience got hard. And yeah, because I think she asked me like medium. She didn't say gross. If she said gross, I'd be like, yeah, gross.
What does that mean?
Big.
Okay, right.
But she said like because they were probably doing it in like. I was about to say like German for the Spanish words, but that makes no sense. You know, like grande and all that. No, I'm not. But yeah, it would probably be a laugh for the video because he actually captured it and you're going through the drive-thru and me saying, zwei schwarze Kaffee, bitte. And she was like, yeah, man, cool. Like, but like, what do you want? Like, or like, do you want anything else? Probably. I just didn't anticipate the extra stuff.
It seemed like a good introduction to the video for day 2.
Yeah, I had to abandon it and say sorry, I'm English.
What we're gonna for tomorrow? We need to think of a way to start that video. And if we need to like almost do like an alternate ending. Because if we come back again, we need to pretend like we've not gone home. So we need to do 2 endings.
Yeah, I think I want to come back. I love the staff down at UMass are great.
There's a certain waitress that's got a twinkle in her eye for old
beardy
boy.
What I'm getting, I don't think that's true. What I'm getting is, if you recall, she said, "Oh yeah, I watched some of your videos, and I skipped through them all." That was literally what she said. I fast forwarded through them all. I'm like, "Gee, thanks." Oh, I can't watch it 10 minutes. I think she's from Turkey.
She's from Turkey, yeah. So the barman's from Moldova. The waitress was from Turkey.
The owner was Brazilian.
Yeah, owner was Brazilian.
It's a good example of cultural integration. But yeah, she basically said, "Of course, I cannot watch a 10-minute video of you eating. Come on," and I'm like, "Ugh."
You broke my heart.
Yeah. But no, what I was getting is that the staff there are very pleasant people.
She must think like we are functioning alcoholics on this trip.
He's making us into an alcoholic. The guy has given us like a free round of shots. The first time it happened, I'm thinking this could be the start to like Hostel 4.
I think Tilly thinks that that's the hotel because every time she's FaceTime before bed, we've been sat in this bar.
Yeah. The same bar. It's just what like
we've got to know him that well. I even turned the FaceTime round to the waitress and said, "Hey." Yeah. You're right, mate.
I'm a little sleepy.
How long are we going for, Josh? Are you on time code? Do you know? We're just going to guess.
I'm going to say 30 odd minutes.
Yeah, I reckon probably 30, 40 minutes there.
I think it's 40, more than 40, I think. Do you have anything else to talk about? It's definitely more than 40.
Oh, yeah?
It's almost exactly 40.
Okay.
Because I got a message from somebody at a certain time right before we started.
Roger that.
Yeah.
We're thinking about dragging Josh into this podcast for the Patreon section. You can sit in the middle.
Do we need to know Josh's political alignment? You know, because we have Tory Mike.
Oh yeah.
And handsome. At least he needs a nickname because we have Handsome George or Gorgeous George. Sorry.
You were calling him Class A Josh last night. I don't think that'll fly on the show. I don't think Josh wants that as he's shaking his head. Just for the record, he doesn't do Class A's. He just has done Class A's in the past.
Accidentally in a foreign country. That's going to get us demonetized. Talking about drugs.
We didn't speak about the drugs.
No, but like the very mention of them is a dicey area, I think, on YouTube. We
Let's
could
go
call him just.
Let's go 4 for 4.
I'm just going to call him Competent Josh.
Competent
which
Josh.
That sets him apart from you. So it's like it's much easier for me to know.
Competent
Josh.
When we go on
Ginger
set,
Josh.
he calls himself Josh number 2.
Josh 2.
He does.
Which is very fitting for this podcast.
Too many people call. Oh, that's another thing I've done since that. I went to see Yumi at 6.
Oh yeah.
Like VIPZ. I watched them backstage. Got to meet some of the. I'm not a huge fan of Yumi at 6. At the risk of offending any of them, but I'm sure they won't watch. But I did like their first album because I remember when it came out, and the guy that produced the Christmas. I nearly said our Christmas song then. My Christmas song this year and last year. He produced their records, so he got us on the guest list. So we got to go backstage, meet him in their dressing room and whatnot, which Jenna was very excited about. My sister. She tried unsuccessfully to seduce all 4 of them, I think, if I recall. That was a cool experience. You know, a lot of people at the gig watched my videos as well, so that was nice.
You've had a few people bump into you. Even today, the German dude, weren't they, in Frankfurt Centre?
Yeah, not many though in Germany. I kind of thought maybe it's quite a food-centric culture. Thought maybe more people in Germany would have clocked me, but just that Geordie guy in Germany.
I'm just checking my photos just to recall. We've not recorded for ages, have we? Since it's been a few weeks since Tom Aspinall, which
Still recovering from that one.
went down. I think he's going to get eaten alive in comments. Me, not of the maybe of the podcast, but definitely on your channel, he's going to get.
He did. If this does, I'll ruin it by saying what he did. But like, man,
Just say it, man. These
big
are
guys.
OGs.
Big guys just cannot. My grandma could eat more than him, and that's not. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being hyperbolic for dramatic effect. If I set him next to my grandma eating chicken wings, my house is go. Well, if I had a house, it'd go on my grandma.
It was probably the strangest. It was such a strange experience. What are you laughing at, Josh?
Just didn't say they also got his grandma.
And the fact that I don't actually have a house to wager right now, but I don't have my car. Put my car in my car. I don't fucking want it anyway.
But yeah, it was a strange experience having him. And for those that are listening, you'll pick up quickly that he might have pissed Adam off a little bit.
No,
Because-
he could not have done such a thing. I just thought I just wanted him to punch me.
The heavyweight
For the views.
UFC champion, even though he wears Rolexes, Hublots, can't tell the time because he wasn't on time for the podcast or the food challenge. So, rightfully so, Adam was not particularly happy with him.
Yes,
And then when I
don't
watched-
give a shit. This guy is heavyweight champion of the world. I'm gonna fucking knock him out when he gets it. That's how big he was. So I just spent the whole time thinking, well, I'm being filmed by like 8 cameras now. I'll just wind him up as far as I can. And if he punches me, we got some gold there, man. Punched by the UFC heavyweight interim champion of the world while eating chicken wings. That video sells itself.
Fair play to him, man. At least he rocked up and we did it. And let's see if he gets called up for UFC 300. Yeah, that should.
Oh yeah, can't wait for that announcement.
How do we end these podcasts? What do we do?
I don't know,
We're
man.
gonna have to cut out. I think we're gonna have to ditch festivals or Reddit ships, whatever it was called.
Good.
We're gonna have to reevaluate this whole podcast. If this one gets demonetized, I actually don't know. Like, I think we'll just have to like call it a day because I don't know what we're gonna do. Like, this has been pretty tame, hasn't it?
You need to like converse with the powers that be, man. I get my videos demonetized from time to time, and admittedly, I'm a big fish.
You are
but,
a big
No,
fish.
that's a joke. They don't give a shit. But what I mean is, like, they actually do. I think George probably just isn't looking in the right place. I'll have to just get in there and tell him what, because it does tell you on what grounds they're demonetized.
Right. Okay.
It tells you what thing you've. You know, when you do the ad declaration, you have to fill out all those boxes. Saying,
Yeah.
does it contain swearing? Does it contain discussions of traumatic events?
Yeah.
Etc. Etc. Do you poke fun at people? Yes, every week, several times, including really hard people who could just kill you with one punch to the head. So if we looked at it, it probably would tell us at least what box we're violating.
Okay. We're keeping you up there, lad. All right. Did everybody hear that yawn in the background?
That's how everyone's feeling. This is like having a live audience. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what we're talking about there, but yeah.
I'll leave you on this joke. Tilly's got a new joke. Danielle's fuming that I taught this. What kind of bees make Milk.
Am I supposed to pretend I'm not heard?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What kind of bees make milk?
Boobies. Which, coming from a 2.5-year-old, is hilarious.
It was funny when I'd already heard it from you, and I was like, "That's funny." But then when she told it with a cheeky grin on her face, I was like, she delayed the punchline, and she was like, "I don't want to tell them the punchline,"
Yeah.
and she went, "Boobies." And Danielle's just kind of,
Just like, stay away, you idiot. Extend that trip. So, I think I actually think it's been pretty of a successful podcast. I think we need to carry this over to Patreon now, and we can actually get down to business and tell you what actually happened on this trip, where we can say whatever we want because we can't get demonetized because it's not actually monetized.
that is the ace thing about Patreon, yeah. Like, pay what you have to pay, £3 quid.
Yeah, that was it. So it's £3, and there's like so many spaces left. There's like different categories. So you can
Spaces? What, like, there's a limit?
I think we're gonna like limit the OGs like in like a certain limit.
At least you put some stuff on there now, and I suppose like if I were subscribed to it, which of course I'm not, then it would be quite fun to see all the hijinks behind the scenes, like us getting drunk all the time.
Yeah, I think it's coming into its stride now because we've actually getting plenty of stuff on there. I think, yeah. Like I spoke to the guys at the Have a Word podcast, and they were like, just go all in on Patreon because you can't trust anybody else. Adam Rowe and the comedians they've got over in Liverpool, Paul Smith's mates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they're like, go all in on Patreon because then you're not reliant on sponsors and Manscaped and all this shit. And YouTube, apparently, because guess what? That don't work either.
Do you want me to have a word with boss? Call up, what's she called? Susan.
It doesn't even matter. Like, even you make so little money from YouTube, it's not even worth arguing about.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's why I don't have a house. And definitely no other personal reasons.
Oh, that were a comment. Are you and... Anyway, we'll see you over on Patreon where we'll find out who Adam lives with now.
His granny, his 90-year-old granny.
Bye.